Let's talk about one of the most utterly exhausting parenting frustrations on the planet. Why won't our kids just listen to anything we say? Seriously, if you've ever felt like you're literally talking to a brick wall, I promise you are not alone. It's that constant repetition that just grinds us down, right? You ask nicely once, maybe a little firmer the second time, and honestly, by the 10th time, you're basically shouting just to get a single sock on a foot. It leaves us feeling totally defeated and frankly drained. But in this explainer, we're jumping straight into some incredibly effective sanity-saving strategies from Dr. Becky at Good Inside that are going to completely flip this dynamic on its head. Because look, we've all been there. Just picture your standard Tuesday morning. You ask your kid to put on their shoes, maybe wash their hands, or just please stop jumping on the couch. You wait a second and absolutely nothing happens. They don't even blink. Suddenly, what should be a completely straightforward request morphs into this massive, stressful power struggle. You can feel the tension rising right in your chest. The calm first request gets ignored, which inevitably leads to raising your voice, and boom, now the morning is ruined, your kid is upset, and you're carrying around this heavy load of guilt before you've even made it out the front door. It is so deeply frustrating when they just refuse to follow directions. But here's the good news, we're gonna fix that today. So here is our game plan for today. We're going to start off by looking at the listening illusion. From there, we'll cover giving a child a choice, prep and practice, and the close your eyes trick. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with some takeaways for true cooperation. Okay, let's dive into section 1, the listening illusion, redefining what we actually want from our kids. Right out of the gate, we've got to bust a major myth. It's this idea that, quote unquote, good kids always listen and do what they're told immediately. Dr. Becky points out this massive aha realization that totally shifts how we need to look at behavior. See, true listening actually just means hearing and processing words. It's literally just an auditory function. Compliance, that's immediate obedience without any resistance. When we as parents get frustrated and yell, "You're not listening," what we are actually demanding is blind compliance. And here's the kicker. Demanding immediate compliance clashes directly with the developing child's natural, totally healthy drive for autonomy. Their little brains are literally wired to push boundaries and practice being independent. Think about it. If they blindly complied with everything everyone ever told them, they'd never develop critical thinking skills. So they aren't ignoring you because they're being bad kids. They're resisting because their healthy psychological growth is just colliding head-on with your very immediate need for them to put their shoes on. Which brings us right to section 2, giving a child a choice, empowering kids to reduce defiance. Since we know kids are actively wired to learn autonomy, we can actually bridge this gap by offering them a sense of control, but safely within our own boundaries. The framework for this is incredibly simple. You just say, you can do X or you can do Y. Which do you choose? By offering a structured hypothetical choice like this, you're totally eliminating the opportunity for them to just reflexively say no. If you dictate, put your shoes on, the easiest reflex answer is no. But if you ask, hey, do you want to put your left shoe on first or your right shoe? You are honoring their need for autonomy while making sure those shoes still get put on. It invites them to be a co-pilot, and this works literally everywhere. Getting them into a car seat, instead of wrestling them into the straps, ask them, do you want to climb into your car seat yourself like a monkey, or do you want me to lift you in like a rocket ship? You are handing them the steering wheel for how it happens, even if what happens is totally non-negotiable. Let's move along to section 3, prep and practice, building skills before the storm hits. So step 1 here is preparation. You need to pinpoint the trigger situation in advance. Let's say you know your kid reliably has a total meltdown every single time the TV gets turned off. Okay, that's your trigger. Step 2 is practice. You role play that exact scenario, but, and this is key, you do it during a calm, happy, connected moment. You're literally playing pretend. So you sit on the couch with them on a random Saturday morning when the TV's already off, and you say, okay, let's play pretend. You sit here and I'm going to say TV time is over, and let's practice you grabbing the remote, taking a huge deep breath, and clicking the button. Ready? Action. The logic behind this is absolutely critical. You simply cannot successfully teach a child a brand new emotional regulation skill right in the heated middle of a meltdown. In that moment of stress, their prefrontal cortex, the logical, reasoning part of their brain, is basically completely offline. But by making it a fun game and practicing when they are perfectly calm, you're building up that mental muscle memory so it's locked, loaded, and ready to be used when the real stressful moment inevitably hits. All right, section 4, the close your eyes trick. A playful pivot to break the tension. I'm sharing this one with you like a mentor, passing down a top secret weapon to defeat the villain of living room tension. When you hit a total wall of defiance, try this. Voluntarily close your eyes and just start narrating. You say something like, I'm going to close my eyes for 10 seconds, and when I open them, I bet those pajamas won't be on your body. This is shockingly powerful, and it all comes down to the neuroscience of eye contact. See, when you stand over your kid with that glaring, frustrated, angry stare, you're actually unwittingly activating their fight or flight response. Their internal threat radar starts blaring, making compliance biologically impossible in that specific moment. Closing your eyes completely short circuits that power struggle. It injects this sudden, unexpected playfulness into the room. Plus, it completely removes the intense pressure of having an audience. Without you staring them down, they suddenly have the psychological space to comply without feeling like they are surrendering or losing face. They aren't obeying an angry dictator anymore, right? They get to pull a magic trick on you instead. And that brings us to Section 5, Takeaways for True Cooperation, bringing peace back to your family. Look, you are the hero of your own households, and you now have the tools to actually fix this whole dynamic. So here is Dr. Becky's toolkit for cooperation, ready for you to use today. Number 1, give a choice. Use that X or Y framework, the monkey or the rocket ship, to honor their developing autonomy and completely bypass that knee-jerk reflex to say no. Number 2, prep and practice. Pinpoint your daily landmines and build up those transition skills through fun, silly role play during calm moments instead of trying to teach a major life lesson in the middle of a screaming tantrum. And number 3, use the close your eyes trick. Break the tension, remove the angry stare down that triggers their fight or flight response, and playfully invite your child to cooperate by pulling off a fun disappearing act. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct question to really think about. Do you want an obedient child or a cooperative one? Because obedience relies on fear and immediate, unquestioning compliance, which honestly can end up crushing a child's independent spirit over time. Cooperation, on the other hand, relies on connection, clear boundaries, and honoring their autonomy. When we shift our mindset away from demanding strict obedience and instead move towards fostering true cooperation, we're doing so much more than just surviving the chaotic toddler years. We're actually raising future adults who know how to collaborate, how to think critically, and how to connect deeply with the people around them. So keep this mind shift in your back pocket the next time you feel a power struggle brewing. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I really encourage you to try these strategies out in your own home.